All right, hello everyone, and thanks for joining me here today on Hope and Truth Daily. Before I begin, I want to remind you guys, as always, to please click that like button. As I've told you before, it's that little thumbs up icon. For those of you that may not know for some reason, right below the video, you'll see it. Hit that like button for me. If you can, hit it right now. If you hit that like button now, you won't forget to do it later. And then later, if you decide that you didn't like the video, you're more than welcome to always click it again, and that will unlike the video. So I encourage you now to hit that like button now. That way you don't forget. Also, share the video on your social media. If you can, share this as a public post. If you share this public, that gives everyone everywhere a chance to see this video. It gives everyone an opportunity. It doesn't change anything with your social media. If you have it set to private, your social media set to for friends only, let's say, if you set this video to public, then the people that aren't your friends can see the video, but they still won't be able to see anything else on your social media. So it doesn't compromise anything. So setting it to public really does help, and it gives everyone a chance to see this video. Again, I'd like to get you guys to subscribe to my video. If you can, hit that subscribe button now, or subscribe to my channel, Hit that subscribe button now. If you later decide you don't want to be a subscriber, just hit it again, unsubscribe. I encourage you to subscribe to it. It will help my channel, and I'll be able to make sure I keep bringing these videos to you guys and to all the others that maybe in the future that haven't heard it that will eventually get to hear it. So hit that subscribe button now. Like I said, you can, with the like button, same thing. You can hit the subscribe button again to unsubscribe if you choose that you don't want to be a subscriber. But I encourage you to hit both the like button and subscribe button now. That way you don't forget at the end of the video and then close it out and totally have forgotten. Also, click that post notification bell. If you click that post notification bell, you'll always know when I have a new video posted for you. Anyway, so let's get on to today's video. Today I want to talk about a virtue that's often overlooked in this, what do we call it, our fast-paced, achievement-driven world. And that virtue is humility. That virtue is humility. And today's topic is the beauty of humility. The beauty of humility. While society often glorifies things like power and pride and self-promotion, for example, the Bible calls us to something much deeper, something more beautiful, and that's the path of humility. The path of humility. In James chapter 4, verse 10, we're reminded of this powerful truth. James chapter 4, verse 10 reminds us this: humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you. Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you. Humility isn't about devaluing ourselves or thinking less of who we are. It's about understanding our place before God. It's the acknowledgement that every gift, every talent, and every blessing we possess comes from him. Humility isn't weakness. It's strength under control. It's the willingness to serve others, to put their needs above our own, and to trust God's plans for us. God's plans for us are far greater than anything we could achieve on our own. The beauty of humility lies in its ability to transform us. When we humble ourselves, we create space for God to work in our lives. We let go of pride, which often blinds us to his will. And instead, we open our hearts to his guidance. As we align ourselves with God's purpose, he lifts us up in ways that bring glory to him and blessings to our lives. Consider the example of Jesus, who embodied perfect humility. In the second chapter of Philippians, we're told that although he existed in the form of God, he didn't regard equality with God as something to be grasped. Instead, he emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, and became obedient to the point of death on a cross. Jesus' humility wasn't a sign of weakness. It was the ultimate demonstration of love and strength. His willingness to humble himself brought salvation to all who believe in him. Me, you, anyone that believes in him. But how do we cultivate humility in our own lives? Well, first, we must begin with our relationship with God. Excuse me. We must, seriously, we really do. We must begin with our relationship with God. When we spend time in prayer, time in worship, and studying his word, we're reminded of his greatness and our dependence on him. As we draw closer to God, our pride diminishes and our hearts become more aligned with his will. Now, second, humility grows when we serve others. Jesus said in Matthew 23:11, let me pull that up for you. These are words of Christ himself. Jesus said, "The greatest among you shall be your servant." The greatest among you shall be your servant. So acts of kindness, generosity and service not only bless those around us, but also shape our hearts to reflect God's love. When we put others above ourselves, we demonstrate the humility that Jesus calls us to live out. And third, humility requires us to let go of the need for recognition. True humility isn't about seeking applause or validation. It's about quietly doing what's right because it honors God. When we shift our focus from pleasing people to pleasing God, we find joy and fulfillment that no earthly praise can provide. So here's an affirmation to guide you guys through the day. And say this throughout the day. Today's affirmation is this: I walk in humility, trusting God to lift me up. I walk in humility, trusting God to lift me up. So say it with me, guys. And as I always ask, type it below. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and say it together. And while we're saying it, type it. Or if you can't type at the same time you're saying it, maybe you need to look at the screen and you're not someone who has the skills. Type it after you say it. But let's say it together right now. I walk in humility, trusting God to lift me up. Put that in the comments below. I walk in humility, trusting God to lift me up. Amen. So let this truth anchor you. Let it anchor you as you navigate life's challenges and opportunities. Speak it over yourself throughout the day. Do that today or tomorrow if you're watching this in the evening. Allow it to remind you that humility isn't about what the world sees, but what God sees in your heart. And in closing, let us remember that humility is a gift. It's a gift that we give not only to ourselves, but also to those around us. It strengthens relationships. It fosters peace. And most importantly, it glorifies God. As James 4:10 reminds us, when we humble ourselves before the Lord, He will exalt us in due time. So let's choose humility daily, trusting that God's plans for us are greater than anything that we could achieve on our own. Think about that. Trusting that God's plans for us are greater than anything that we could achieve on our own. Amen. Type amen in the comments. Go ahead, type in the comments below, amen. And say it with me, amen. Amen. Now type it below. So anyway, guys, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already done so, we're at the end of the video. Go ahead and click those now. That way you don't forget. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, and then click share and send it out to your social media, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever else there is out there. There's so many of them. Snapchat. I know I'm missing some. So X, go ahead and share this. Share this everywhere that you have a voice, okay? And leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. All comments and feedback are welcome. So thank you guys, and may God bless you richly as you embrace the beauty of humility.